Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you, well, unexpected truths.
Hmm.
Today, we're unraveling a really fascinating mystery, actually. Why did a forward-thinking startup, Tracebit?
Yeah, building a B2B security product, no less.
Exactly. Why did they make what, some might call a truly unconventional programming language choice?
Right.
So get ready, because their story, which comes from their CTO, Sam Cox's blog post, it's from May 7th, 2025.
Why we built our startup in C#. That's the one.
That's it. This might completely challenge your assumptions about C#.
It really might. And our mission here in this deep dive is to unpack exactly why Tracebit chose C#. When so many modern startups go for Python, TypeScript, Go, maybe Rust.
Yeah, the usual suspects.
Right. And this choice is unconventional, especially if you've got sort of outdated ideas about C#.
Definitely.
So we're going to explore the reason Sam Cox gives, the insights behind that decision, and then, importantly, look at the real-world results they've actually seen.
Okay, so Sam Cox kicks things off nailing what every startup founder obsesses over: productivity.
Number one priority, usually.
Totally. He argues C# delivered on this big time. But, traditionally we often think speed and agility in a startup means like dynamic languages, right? Interpreted ones.
Yeah, Python springs to mind.
So how does he argue C#, and this is the interesting part, with its static types, actually helps them move faster, not slows them down?
Well, he really emphasizes that C# provided like an expressive, full-featured language right from the start for quick iteration.
Okay.
And the key insight is how static types, far from being a drag, actually accelerated their ability to iterate, but with confidence.
Confidence.
That assurance you get from static types is, well, crucial for maintaining and refactoring code as things grow. You can make bigger changes without, holding your breath quite so much.
Makes sense. Less breaking things unexpectedly.
Exactly. And what's more, he notes C# offered a remarkably stable platform, one designed to scale with the team and the code base.
That's important too.
Yeah, so this robust foundation, as he puts it, let them be highly productive from day one. It laid really solid groundwork.
I have to admit, when I first saw C# for a modern startup, my first thought was, really?
I get that.
But Sam Cox makes this really compelling case about its sheer modernity. What was the biggest eye-opener for him regarding .NET's evolution, especially like its openness and cross-platform stuff?
I think what particularly struck him was just how truly open the platform is now. .NET is fully open source, MIT licensed.
Which wasn't always the perception.
Not at all. And this enables genuine cross-platform support. His developers can work on MacBooks.
Right, common for devs.
And their apps deploy seamlessly to Linux containers, even running on ARM cores.
Wow. Okay, that's flexible.
And he also mentioned Microsoft's chiseled container images, which are basically these ultra-minimalist, security-hardened base images.
Chiseled. Okay. Why is that important?
Well, think about it. For a security product, that's a crucial detail. It gives them a lean deployment, drastically minimizes CVE management, fewer vulnerabilities to worry about.
Smaller attack surface. Makes total sense.
It's kind of a quiet revolution in enterprise tooling, actually.
Yeah, it really sounds like it. It's also this fascinating paradox, isn't it? C# is consistently popular in surveys.
Like Stack Overflow, yeah. Always ranks high.
Right. But it lacks that sort of typical startup buzz you see with some other languages.
Yeah, it's not the flavor of the month on Hacker News every week.
Does that suggest maybe a disconnect between perceived coolness and just like genuine utility? And how does a startup like Tracebit use that quiet popularity?
That's a great way to put it. This consistent popularity, it translates into real competitive advantages that Sam Cox points out.
Like what?
Well, first, Tracebit found a great talent pool to hire from. There are just a lot of experienced C# developers out there.
The hiring angle.
Yeah.
Crucial.
Definitely. They also had tons of world-class libraries ready to use, meaning less time building basic stuff.
Right, not reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. Plus, there's abundant documentation, examples, all that support material.
So less getting stuck.
Pretty much. It means fewer unexpected roadblocks.
Yeah.
Because you're following these well-traveled paths, as he calls them. Paths validated by tons of other projects.
Okay, that saves a lot of time and friction, especially early on.
A huge amount, yeah.
So beyond the language itself, a huge part of developer velocity, comes from the library ecosystem.
Oh, absolutely. The ecosystem is key.
And this seems to be where .NET really shines, especially, again, for a security product. What did Tracebit find really valuable there, beyond just the usual suspects like collections and JSON stuff?
Well, a standout feature he mentioned is the maturity and quality of the big frameworks within .NET. Things like Entity Framework for data access,
Right, the ORM.
and ASP.NET for building web applications. These are really solid. And if you connect that back to Tracebit being a security product, having so many trusted, well-maintained components just ready to go was incredibly valuable.
Because they have high standards for what they include.
Exactly. High standards for dependencies. So this breadth and quality, it saved them significant time. They could focus on their core product, not vetting or building basic infrastructure from scratch.
It's like building on a rock-solid foundation, then.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered the strategy, the ecosystem, but what about the developers? The people actually typing the code day in, day out. What makes the act of writing C# enjoyable and efficient, according to Sam Cox?
Right, the dev experience. He really highlighted some specific expressive language features, things like LINQ.
LINQ is great for data querying.
Yeah, simplifies it a lot. Advanced pattern matching, which cleans up conditional logic. And modern things like primary constructors, null coalescing operators, stuff like that.
So features that make the code cleaner, more readable.
Expressive and succinct, he said. A real pleasure to read and write. He also praised the type system, powerful, but not overly complex.
Balanced, okay.
Yeah, with great support for generics, record types, reflection, useful tools.
And tooling, IDEs.
Oh yeah, beyond the language itself, the tooling is exceptional. Powerful IDEs, think Visual Studio, Writer with great debugging, great refactoring.
That saves so much time.
Huge time saver. Plus, static analyzers that actually suggest automatic fixes. And sophisticated tools for memory profiling, runtime diagnostics.
So finding problems before they hit production.
Exactly. All of this stuff really contributes to avoiding those nasty surprises in production.
Okay, performance is always a hot topic, especially in tech. The post paints a very positive picture, but, no tech is perfect. Did Sam Cox mention any trade-offs? Any specific challenges Tracebit did hit by choosing C#, maybe compared to other options, especially around performance?
That's a fair question. And it's true. C# might not always beat, say, Rust in every single raw speed benchmark for super low-level stuff.
Right.
But Sam Cox's clear message was, raw speed wasn't their #1 reason for choosing it, but it quickly became a really significant advantage. A pleasant bonus, almost.
Interesting. So it performed better than expected.
It seems so.
Mm-hmm.
He explains that performance is clearly a huge priority for the .NET team now. They make meaningful improvements in basically every release.
Okay.
And his experience was they got impressive high throughput from just simple, idiomatic C# code. Not needing crazy optimizations most of the time.
But the option's there if you need it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He mentions there are ample options for optimizing those hot code paths if and when needed.
Gotcha.
And he even clarifies where his performance numbers come from. Tech and Power Round 21 benchmarks, which were referenced in a Microsoft Why Choose.net article.
Good to know the source.
Yeah. The old perception was the C# was just for, Windows desktop apps and big companies.
Totally. Enterprise stuff.
But Sam Cox's experience building this modern SaaS product, deploying to Linux containers, it just shows how far that perception is from today's reality.
Yeah.
It's, like you said, a quiet revolution.
Yeah, definitely feels that way. So, okay, the big question. After thousands of commits, over 100,000 lines of code, how is this unconventional choice actually going for Tracebit in the real world?
He sounds really happy with it. Immensely satisfied, actually.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. He noted that even new team members, some who'd never touched C# before,
Oh, interesting.
they became productive surprisingly quickly. Some were even shipping code to production on the first day.
Wow, okay. That speaks volumes about the learning curve and the tooling, I guess.
Exactly. And the comments on his blog post really back this up. You see developers chiming in.
Oh, what kind of comments?
Well, there was one from a James Rustad. He talked about his large company moving from C++ to C#.NET, way back with .NET 1.1. And now they use it for everything desktop, even Android and iOS apps with .NET 10.
So, showing that flexibility and longevity.
Right. And another commenter, Nick Polyak, specifically mentioned a UI framework called Avalonia for hitting Android, iOS, desktop, and web from C#.
Okay, so the ecosystem extends to mobile UIs too.
Seems so. And just general comments too, like one from Mark, just saying C# is this powerful mix of modern, versatile, performant, great ecosystem.
Just general thumbs up.
Yeah. And even someone, King Charles, who switched from VBNet to C# because it had better support for Microsoft in the community.
Right. Interesting perspective.
So all this feedback really reinforces Sam Cox's final thought. Look, no language is perfect for everything, of course not.
Sure.
But C# has been absolutely key to Tracebit's success. They prioritize things like rapid development, a strong ecosystem, a big talent pool.
And C# delivered on those.
It seems so. They were confident it could meet their security and performance needs for their specific SaaS product, even without maybe the absolute low-level control of Rust.
So a pragmatic choice that worked out well.
Exactly. And his final advice is pretty clear. If you've overlooked C# based on, old ideas,
Yeah.
take another look. It might surprise you.
What a fantastic deep dive. It really makes you think, doesn't it? If C# has quietly achieved all this versatility, performance, what other widely held beliefs about tech are we holding on to that might be just, well, completely outdated?
Question.
So to recap for you, our listener, Tracebit's story, it really shows that C# offers this robust, productive, modern environment that absolutely defies those old perceptions.
Yeah.
It's proven incredibly effective even for fast-paced startup development, and specifically in a security-focused context.
And this really does raise an important question for you to chew on. In this tech landscape that changes so fast, how often do our assumptions, our go-to choices about tools or technologies, actually stop us from exploring solutions that could be really powerful and maybe even better suited?
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's maybe a good moment to critically reevaluate your own biases, your own defaults, or maybe explore some areas you might have just dismissed before.